Today we're going to be looking at a lot of things, but please, before we go in, don't forget to subscribe, share and like. Go over the previous videos if you've not been going over them. We'll be looking at common errors students make when writing waec. Please go over those videos. So today we're going to just be looking at waec 2024, the past questions of waec 2024. Please just follow the questions. You're going to see why some people, after writing the exam, why their score was low, what happened. So we're going to be going over it. What did they really expect students to answer? We're going to be going over chemistry too, and this is the section A aspect. The instruction here is answer all questions in this section. So meaning you have to attempt all questions in this section. Don't say, oh, I know this one, let me leave this one and the other one will cover. No, this section A has its mark. The question one is, what is an electrochemical cell? That's the question one. What is an electrochemical cell? So what answer do they expect you to give them for what is an electrochemical cell? Now, most people will go and start writing encyclopedia. No, what they want. They said a device for converting chemical energy to electrical energy. If you answer that one, you are right. A device that uses a chemical stroke redox reaction to generate electric current. That's 2 mark. If you're able to define it like this, 2 mark. So either the first or second. The B part, state 3 differences between electrochemical cell and an electrolytic cell. That's the B question. State 3 differences between an electrochemical cell and an electrolytic cell. Remember, you have to draw a table. Some people will say, no, I will just write it like that. 1, a gravimetric converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Converts electrical energy into chemical. You see, it's flowing. Not you say convert this, you now go and say the radius reaction is spontaneous. No. So you can just pick any 3 from this and just draw your table and state it. Now every one you state is one mark. That's 3 marks. The C, explain briefly what will be observed when powdered zinc is added to the solution of copper 2 tetraoxosulfate 6 in a beaker. That's the C question. Now you will see what you're supposed to answer and the point, each point you give, one mark. Color change from blue to colorless. From blue, 1 mark, to colorless, 1 mark. A brown deposit is observed, 1 mark. So total mark there is 3 marks. If you don't state it like this, you end up losing mark. Because they ask you what you see. So you are supposed to state it like this. Take note of something. Write the equation for the reaction in 1C. That's that one that you've answered. What's the equation of the reaction? Now, you're not supposed to come and start writing this, so you have to know equation. You have to use the chemical formula to write it out. So now the answer is zinc in solid form plus copper tetraoxosulfate 6 aqueous will give you zinc. This is zinc tetraoxosulfate 6 plus copper solid. If you state it like this, you have gotten 1 mark. If you are not sure of your state, you can avoid mentioning your states. The next one, what type of reaction which takes place in 1C? What's the type of reaction that took place in 1C? Can we guess? Before the answer comes, can you guess? If you actually try to guess, are you right? Are you wrong? Are you right? Are you wrong? Are you right? Are you wrong? The answer is displacement stroke radius reaction, which is 1 mark. If you say displacement, right, 1 mark. If you say redox, 1 mark. So take note of all these things. You have to know which one is this, so that you can actually give yourself score even before the waec result comes out, because you know what you are doing. And if you notice, the marks are always stated. Name 2 gases which should be prepared in a fume cupboard. State 2 gases which should be prepared in a fume cupboard. No, what's the answer? Guess. Can you guess? Chlorine, sulfur oxide, hydrogen sulfide, ammonia. So if you state any 2, 1 mark for each, that will give you 2 marks. So remember that you have to be sure, know what you're doing. Now F said, give 3 factors that favors cracking. What's the answer? Can you guess? What's the answer? 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 High temperature, high pressure catalyst. Now, remember when I was talking about in the previous video, you cannot say temperature. You have to put high temperature, high pressure catalyst. If you state it like this, you get your 3 marks. But when you put temperature, pressure, you would not get anything. Make sure you say it like which one. The G part, give the reason why noble gases are chemically inert. Why are noble gases chemically inert? Inert, they don't react. Chemically, they don't react. So now, can you guess the answer to this? Now, the answer is the noble gases are chemically inert because their outermost shell, their valency shell, are completely filled. When you mention it like this, you get your 2 marks. While you're putting you're completely filled. But remember, now state 4 properties of a homologous series. There's so many properties of homologous series. There's so many of them. But if you're able to just say just 4, you are going to get your mark. I remember when stating this, there's some terms that you just miss. But how would I put it? Put everything together. Differ successfully by CH2. Conform to a general chemical formula, similar chemical properties, similar method of preparation, have the same functional group, and there is a gradual change. Any one you mention, any 4, one mark for each mentioned. The I, what is global warming? What is global warming? So anything that you are doing, just make sure that you are putting in those chemistry terms. You don't confuse one word for the other. You are just stating it the way it should be. When you do this, you are going to get a perfect mark. Now, the answer, global warming is an increase in the Earth's surface temperature, get 2 marks, or increase in any of them. If you're able to state the up or the down one, you get your 2 marks. Do you understand? So know that you need to be able to use these terms. You need to be able to terms. The I states 1 cause of global warming. State 1 cause of global warming. What's the cause of global warming? There's so many things that are happening around the world. We know that the average Earth temperature is increasing, so this should be an easy peasy. You can either stay burning of fossil fuel, cutting down trees, excess carbon dioxide, using transportation. If any of them that you state, you're going to get 1 mark. Now, the total mark for this section A is 25 marks. And everybody is expected to do it. So if you do it, you get your 25 marks. Now we'll go on to section B. Here you're asked to answer 3 questions from this section. There's 5 questions. You have to pick 3 questions from it. You can pick from 1 to any one that you're comfortable with. You can pick from it to answer. Now, let's go in. So 2AI, define each of the following terms. So when we progress in this video, you may have to pause, go over the screen if I'm going too fast, just to see what's written there. But I try as much as possible to write the correct answers. So if you can just go over it and like, okay, this is the answer. Now, the deliquescence and effervescence. They said the deliquescence is the phenomenon of absorbing water. Now I want to go over something. It's 2 or 0. That means either the person gets the definition or the person gets 0 mark. There's no 1 mark. There's no half mark. So you must be able to state these definitions like this process. You must put the phenomenon. That's the correct answer. Now give 1 example of a substance that undergo each of the process in effervescent and deliquescent. This is an example. You can either write it like this or you can write the name of the compound. Like you must be able to say it like this, which 1 mark. Now A, what is meant by ionization energy? The same thing here is either you get 2 or 0, meaning there's no 1 mark. So either you state this definition as it is or you fail it. So if you don't state it as it is, you get 0 mark. 2 or 0. So you must take note of the terms that were used. Now the next one is state the second ionization energy. Why is the second ionization energy greater than the first ionization energy? Give brief. You're going to see each of the terms. You're going to see one mark, the terms that they expect you to use in each of them. So you must know which one to use, which one not to use, so that to avoid any errors. Now the next question is state Charles' law. Charles' law states that the volume of a given mass of gas at a constant pressure is directly proportional to its absolute temperature. Must be in your definition. 2 marks. 2 marks. If there's no absolute temperature, 0 mark. Now sketch a graph to illustrate Charles' law. You can either use any of this graph. Now take note of something. The shape of the graph is 1 mark. Axis 1 mark. Absolute 0 1 mark. That absolute 0 must be there. So for this graph, it's 3 marks. There's some people that will draw it and they'll get 0. You'll be asking yourself why. This is the parameter that is used to mark it. 3. A gas occupies 150 centimeter cube at 131 degrees Celsius. What will be its volume if the temperature is raised and constant, the pressure is kept constant? This is it. This mark, there's a mark for this, there's a mark for this, there's a mark for this. Total of here is 3 marks. So it's not just to do, you must show workings. The next question, write a chemical equation to illustrate what happens when each of the following oxide is dissolved in water. They ask you for chemical equation. They did not ask you to write the name or the reaction when you're writing the name. Write the chemical equation. If you do otherwise, you're not going to get the point for it. So this is the chemical equation they expect you to write. This is the chemical equation they expect you to write. Now, some people will go and be doing solid, liquid, gas, aqueous. If you do any mistake and any of those states is not how it's supposed to be, you are going to score 0 points. So it's to play it safe, it's better you write it like this. They said arrange the solutions in 2D in order of increasing acidity. You have to arrange it in order of increasing acidity. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? You write the name. Can you guess the answer? You write it. And when you're writing it, you write and you show your arrow that's showing you how it's increasing, and that is 1 mark. Now total mark for question 2 is 25 marks. So if you're able to get your question 1, you're able to get your question 2, you already started grading yourself, and you know this is my score. Question 3, write a balanced chemical equation for the production of lead 2 chloride by 1 direct combination of constituent elements, double the composition, or displacement reaction. So you're writing the 3. There's no 3. You're expected to do the 3. And they ask balanced chemical equation. Not just writing the chemical equation, balance it. Some of us have problem with balancing. We have to go back. So now if you're able to do this is 2 marks. This is 2 marks, and this is 2 marks. That's 6 marks. They said, see the second one. They said, do not accept silver chloride and mercury chloride reaction. Should be between lead triazonitrate. So it's all those things. Take note of those things. Pause it. See it. Why? Now the next question, state one condition that will increase the rate of reaction for each of the reactions stated in 3AI. What is the one condition? What is the one condition? So they just asked you to state just one. So you can state any one that you state. It's 1 mark. So take note of these instructions. It's not just by writing. It's take note of the instructions. Any of them you put, increasing temperatures. If using lead, powder lead, 1 point. So it's either that or that. Now the next question, consider the following reaction. That's the reaction between sulfur 4 oxide and oxygen to give you sulfur 6 oxide. Now they say state 2 condition that will increase the yield of sulfur 6 oxide, removing the products that's SO3 formed, increasing the any one you give, any distance. If you say 2 point, 2 mark. Now this you asked to solve. If you not see the point, this is 5 marks that you could actually get from this question. Stating the 1 mark, doing 1 mark, doing it 1 mark. So each of these steps you have one mark that you can actually get from this question. So please take note. What is the change in the oxidation number of sulfur in the reaction in 3BI? It changed from +4 to +6. If we still have time, we're still going to go over some selected topics. So we'll see how we're able to get the solving for the oxidation number. We're going to do oxidation number. So just take note of this. Using structural diagrams, explain why cyclopropane is not an isomer of propane. So there's the difference between cyclopropane and N-propane. So the structure, they asked you for structural formula. So if you're able to write the structural formula, 1 mark each. So you must take note those instructions, read instructions. The next question is: a saturated organic compound X containing 3 carbon atom reacted with butanoic acid in the presence of dilute tetraoxosulfate 6 acid to form a sweet smelling compound Y. See the questions they ask. So read your questions very well. Don't assume. And there's sometimes you look for, don't assume anything, just do it. The answer is X is propanol, Y is propene butanoate. Each of them one mark. X, Y, don't come and do I too know that the functional group hydroxyl. So they said if it is OH, 1 mark, equation of the reaction, 2 marks. Take notes. Now this is question 4a. Write a balanced chemical equation for each of the following reaction. See, 1, there's a space. There's a space for all those things. So please, I'm begging you, always read your instructions. Reading instructions is actually better than writing, because when you read instruction, you know what you want to write. This is now the chemical equation for it. If you notice, the states were stated, and see each chemical equation you write is 2 marks. 2 marks. So please write it very well. As I said before, write it very well. Next question: describe briefly the process involved in the extraction of tin from tin ore. Describe briefly the process. If you notice, briefly was bolded. So as it's bolded, it shows you that is briefly. They did not say go and write all the whole good thing. Briefly, make sure the most point is there. Now you see the answer. Tin ore is crushed and washed with water, 1 point. Then filtered, another point. Roasted in. You see the way they did it. That is what they expect you to say. So if you state it like this, you've gotten your 5 points. But if you make a mistake, you are not writing the encyclopedia, 0 point for you. The next question: mention 3 uses of hydrogen. If you notice what was bolded, 3, meaning they expect you to just write 3 uses of hydrogen. Please just write the 3 uses. They did not ask you to write 100. It's just 3 uses of hydrogen. Now the answer, just pick one. Production of margarine, rocket fuel, as a reducing agent, in filling balloons. They just ask for 3, and any 3 you mention is 3 marks. Any 3 you mention is 3 marks. So you see, don't 1 each you mention is 1 mark. The next question: state 2 physical properties of hydrogen. 2 physical properties. Remember, we have chemical property and physical property. Now they're asking you for just 2 physical properties of hydrogen. Can you guess the answer? Yes. Colorless, odorless, less dense than air, gas at room temperature, insoluble in water. So any of them you mention, 1 point, that is giving you 2 marks. That is 2 marks. So let's go to the next question. Now, it says state the class of oxides to which each of the following compounds belong to: sodium oxide, zinc oxide, sulfur oxide, carbon oxide, nitrogen oxide. So each of them, now which oxide do they belong to? Remember, we have basic, amphoteric, acidic, neutral. So this is it. Now the total mark for question 4 is 25 marks. So if you're able to state it like this, you have your 5 marks, and this answer the question 4 correctly, you have your 25 marks. So the next question we're going to is our 5A, which says, what is the chemical formula of alumina? What is the chemical formula of alumina? Now that's the answer, Al2O3. Please take notes. Aluminium is 2, oxygen is 3. In the extraction of aluminium, name 1 compound that is used to obtain aluminium from bauxite as solvent for alumina. That is it. So you can either name it in the chemical formula or the name: caustic soda, cryolite. The next question: name the electrodes used in the extraction of aluminium. For the anode, we have graphite. For the cathode, we have graphite. 1 mark each. 1 mark each. So you see that it's not difficult. It's for you to know the answer. If you mention it like this, you get your point. Next question. Give one reason why the extraction of aluminium is expensive. The anode is constantly or consistently replaced. Too much electricity is consumed. 2 marks for this question. So you see it. It's easy. It's easy. The issue is just that we just don't know how to do it. Next question. In the extraction of aluminium, name the substance liberated at the anode. Write the chemical equation for the reaction that leads to decrease in the size of the anode. What's the answer? Now, the answer is oxygen. And that's 1 mark. The equation, 2 marks. So if you do it like this, you're actually going to be getting a full point. Read the instruction. Don't forget, read the instruction before you start. Read instruction. Reading instruction actually helps you to get the marks. The next question. Give 2 ions that causes hardness of water. Calcium ion, magnesium ion, or iron ion. Any of these 2 that you mentioned, you're going to get 2 marks. That is 1 mark each. Are we following? Hope we're following. The next question. State 2 advantage and 2 disadvantage of hard water. Any 2 you mention, if it is 2 advantage, you get 2 marks. 2 disadvantage, you get 2 marks. That's a total of 4 marks for this question. Please don't forget, write advantage on top and write the 2. Write disadvantage and write the 2. If you do it like that, you're going to get your full mark. What is meant by destructive distillation of coal? The answer is, this is the heating of coal in the absence of oxygen. That absence must be mentioned. If the absence is not mentioned, 0 mark. If you write it's the heating of coal in air, 0 mark. Now, the next questions. Name 4 products obtained from the destructive distillation of coal. We have coke, coal gas, ammonical liquor, coal tar. So for the 4 products mentioned, 4 marks. So, are you seeing that it's easy? It's easy. The next questions. Name any 2 gas which can be used to demonstrate the fountain experiment. Now we have hydrogen chloride gas and ammonia gas. So if you mention it like this, you put the hydrogen chloride and the ammonia gas, you get 1 mark each. The next question. Give the reasons why the gas named in 5DI are used. Now they said they are very highly soluble in water. If you either write they are very soluble in water, 1 mark. Highly soluble in water, 1 mark. So total mark for question 5 is 25 marks. I would actually like you to go over this again. Check what am I not, what is the definition that is giving me problem, and be able to mention it. Thank you for listening and look forward to hearing from you. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Say something, 1 or 2 things when you're reading it. What are you finding difficult? Let's go over it together. Thank you very much and see you.